Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Animaking 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 14 of What If Naruto Was Created by the God Tree. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new series over Animaking of What If Naruto Was a Genius Prodigy with a Lost Bloodline, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all for your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. And also guys, stay tuned for a brand new episode coming over in Making 2. Yes, I indeed have 3 channels, and Making 2 and Making 3, which I post what if every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and check out that, and yeah, enjoy. Remember to turn on that bell notification and see exactly when I post guys, because I post what if every day on each channel, so yeah. So without further ado, what is to begin this new episode start? The intro. So the last part we left off, we started off with a bit of a flashback. It was Mito, when she was in the forest of death looking for Uncle. Uncle had told her not to come in here, but Mito had been a bit stubborn and she made her way inside. It was then that she got attacked and she was almost crushed, but she was safe. It was a strange fox. Its fur was all white, like a snow. The fox came down with an unnatural power and crushed the animal, surprising Mito, as she could hear the fox. She could speak directly to her, but the fox could not speak to anyone else, which was rather confusing for Mito. We then skip back to the present time. The group had become Genins, as Sasuke had made his way home with his mother, as his brother Itachi Uchi had taken over as the head of the clan. A lot had happened since Naruto purge of the clan, as Itachi was trying to keep things stable at the moment. He apologized to Sasuke for not being there as he congratulated him, but he still had a lot of work to do, so Sasuke said his goodnights as he made his way. Itachi promised to say goodnight to him before he fell asleep, while Itachi enjoyed striving his clan in a new path and keeping them grounded and stable. Well, the paperwork was something that he could do without. It was the reason why all Kages hated paperwork. We then skipped towards where Naruto was. As Naruto was currently not there, the two girls, Karin and Guren, they both have special abilities. Karin could only manifest a small number of chains and they were quite small. The two girls had trained so they were quite exhausted, but then they were attacked by the Sky Nation. As Shino was leading the entire group, he was on his Sky Castle as he called it. He had become the Sky Emperor. He had a grudge against Konoha for what they did to his village in the Third Great Shinobi War, as he aimed to crush them, but he was here for something. An unholy feeling that got the rabbit pumped with power, the Zero Tails. The thing was made up of negative energy, and he also fed on his power, creating the perfect body as he called it. He kidnapped Guren as Karin. Guren told her to run away as she went there to inform Naruto. Naruto was currently in the process of doing something to cleanse himself, releasing all that negative energy. It was a reason why he clashed against nature itself. His whole body, the more it went on, it seemed like it was made from pure negativity. As he purged it out of his system, it kept him grounded and stable in his mind, not clogged and fogged up. Naruto crushed the few Sky Shinobis that tried to attack the village. He turned his gaze up as he flew straight up, bursting through the ship. He made his way to the hall as he created a clone to take Guren back to the village as he walked. It was then that he met the leader. Shino started to feed off Naruto's negative energy, but something happened. Too much and Naruto's mind started to get corrupted, and Shino was actually able to wound him because the nature energy was clashing in Naruto's system rather badly as he coughed up blood. And that small gap of weakness allowed Kaguya to put more influence over him, as she pulled him in his mind. Naruto power exploded out in the real world, causing negative effects. The era itself started to tremble, the sky shake with power. Everyone was shocked at the display of absolute raw power. Shino on the other hand was getting more and more powerful as Kaguya started to corrupt Naruto. Every bit of him started to change as she held on to him rather tightly until Kushina appeared and punched her in her face. It was not the real Kushina but a manifestation of Naruto's chakra fighting off her. Kaguya was surprised as he actually made her bleed, but she licked her lips. As Kushina stood in front of Naruto and gave him a smile, his eyes snapped open as he blew her back. Despite hurting her, she was amazed by the power that he wielded. As Naruto refocused, by that time Shino had the power of a tailed beast, as he had gained so much power, far more powerful than Ribi. But Naruto was just different. Naruto put him in his place and nuked the entire Sky Nation. He turned it into dust. He knew that this was gonna happen one way or another, and he didn't want to put these people in danger, but he was gonna make sure that he keep the village protected even if he was not here. But it was time that they move on once again. This is the longest place that they had stayed for a couple of months, but it was time that they get on back on the road. But Naruto power was never to be brought to this world. Never in the history of Otsutsuki's was a god tree able to turn itself into a human per se. And that human was lying dormant for, well, 1,000 years. The tree gathering chakra. As the energy that Naruto released caused a chain reaction and spread, not just on the elemental nation but somewhere far, far off in the distance. As someone felt the power, their eyes opening. And the person was rather surprised. They had a pair of Byakugan eyes, and it was not a Hyuga. So yeah guys, it was basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. Remember to go ahead and check out the brand new series, What If Naruto Was a Genius Prodigy with a Lost Bloodline, and enjoyed that guys over in the making. And thank you for a brand new episode coming over in the making too, and I hope you guys enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode start? The intro. We begin this episode at a small town. It's been over 3.5 months since they left. Zana, the woman that had come to see them as family, she would stand by them leaving. But he said that it was time that they move on. The whole village came together and gave them a farewell party as they celebrated that night, thanking them for all that they had done for them, freeing them of the tyranny of the bandits, and protecting them. As she was saying that they would leave, but she told them they were welcome here anytime they wanted to return. But they just didn't leave them unprotected. She glanced towards the walls that were surrounding the village. Before, there was no walls, but now there were giant walls that surrounded them. But that wasn't the only protection. They seemed like statues. 2 massive statues on the end of each wall. One of them was a lion. It was majestic and large. And the other one was an eagle, as they stood there in their frozen state. But they were not statues. She had no idea. None of the villagers knew how, but Naruto somehow was able to create these animals as protection. They lie dormant. But if anything happened, if anyone tried to trespass into the village, if anyone came here to cause problems, to physically harm anyone, they would come alive. The villagers and her were shocked when she saw Naruto had snapped his finger and they came alive. Not to mention they grew in size. They were about the size of the wall themselves. She never thought that ninja art could do something like that. Not to mention Naruto had trained a few of the people in the village, a few of the young boys and girls. They wanted to become ninja, as they were also constructing a ninja academy. They had a few past ninjas here that moved out here to be away from it all after all. But even those past ninjas said that they never ever seen anyone use ninjutsu like that before. To create an object like that and they lie dormant until something happened. They were the protectors of the village. She hoped they were doing well, wherever they are right now. At the moment at Konoha, in the IT department, screams could be heard through the IT department. Interrogation and torture after all. As we made our way to a single room where Uncle Midarashi, IT specialist, was currently filling out a report. It has been a few trying years for her. She lost someone rather special to her. More than special. Not even Orochimaru leaving broke her this badly. But she tried to be tough like she always has. She had stayed in contact with Itachi. They didn't meet up that often, but they were still friends. Through Itachi she got to meet Izumi. I rather love the girl as well, but despite everything that Naruto has done Izumi, she didn't hate him, as Uncle could see that clearly. Izumi just wanted to know why he did that. Because she knew that Naruto was a steady, calm young man who never really showed any malice or hatred towards Uchiha clan. So this sudden attack didn't really make sense. That was not the only thing though. There was a few members from the Netsuko village that came to Konoha. A girl known as Orihime. Kakashi had informed her that Naruto had went on a mission with her back in the past. She came here to fulfill a promise that she made in the past. She was of proper age now, and she wanted to marry Naruto Uzumaki. But he was not here. She was shocked that he had went rogue. The group had left shortly after that. They had spoken to Kushina. Then they left after that. About their actions, Uncle did not know. But she felt sad since he left. She never told him how much she liked him. She had kissed him when he had removed the curse mark. But they had never really talked about that. As Uncle said, she kept on writing the reports. And she wondered where he is. If she could just get to talk to him. She knew that she could have done something, but she sighed once again. Maybe it was just not meant to be. She shook her head and got back to the task at hand. As she wondered how Mito was doing on her first mission out of the village. Meanwhile, Mito Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha and Hinata Hyuga, they were all making their way towards the Land of Wave. They had been given a mission from the Hokage after completing a horde of D-rank missions for the past couple of months. Their sensei being Kakashi Hatake. The team was quite unique, considering that the three of them got along rather well. Although Sasuke's opinion regarding Naruto was still not known by anyone, and it got Kakashi curious as well. He had spoken to Mito about Naruto, as she would want to know what he was like on missions. He did not feel anything about indulging the girl, as she seemed so happy. Kakashi had no idea either what happened made Naruto snap like that. None of them knew. They didn't even have any idea where he was. But from the way things was looking, he was gone for years now. Not even Jiraiya the Sannin could find a single track on him. All evidence pointed to him being dead, but to the amount of power that Naruto wielded, Kakashi highly doubted that that was possible. He highly doubted that even a Kage ninja could take Naruto down that easily. After all, he was one of the few people that knew how powerful Naruto was. Well, even he didn't know the full extent of Naruto's power. Kakashi noticed a puddle up ahead. This would be a good testing of his team. As he continued to walk, all of a sudden, two ninjas burst from the puddle, and he was caught. He was then ripped apart. All of the Genin snapped their gaze towards him as Tazuna eyes went wide. Damn it, he cursed. Brother, let's move. With that, the two of them shot forward at impressive speeds, racing towards the bridge builder. Until Mito flashed through hand sign, and Sasuke flashed through hand sign as well. Hinata backed back towards the bridge builder. Stay behind me, she said. Fire style, Fireball Jutsu, Wing style, Gale Palm. The demon brothers, because of their chain link, they broke the link instantly, but the fire and wind attack was too widespread and ferocious as their arms got burned in the attack, causing them to cry out in pain. They both leapt and fell to the side, their arms badly burned. They tried to get up, but Mito launched herself forward as she slammed her knee right into Gozo's face. Sasuke came down with a haymaker and slammed Miyaizo into the ground as they pinned the brothers who were in pain from their burned arm. They placed a kunai at the brothers' necks. Stop moving, or I will make you, said Mito. As Sasuke didn't even have to say anything, as his kunai pressed against Miyaizo's throat. as Kakashi reappeared with an eye smile. As he looked towards the two, he was proud of him, and Hinata, as she had complete protection around the client. Meanwhile that was going on, Guren stood in front of a man. He had brown hair. His eyes were wide with red veins in them, as he looked rather psychotic. He was wearing a brown shirt that was open at the front, and black pants. He licked the blood off his cheek that Guren had sliced. "You're really psychotic, aren't you?" said the 16-year-old Guren as she looked at him. The man chuckled as he rushed towards her, with a sick twisted look on his face. His blade whipping through the air. Guren waited until he was close. She dodged the blade and sidestepped, before she flipped him over. She then brought her hand down and slammed it in his throat. His eyes went wide as she crushed his face into the earth, flipping him over. She then created a crystal shard around her arm. She drove it deep through his back, bursting it through his chest. He deserved nothing better. This man was a sick, twisted follower of a cult called Joshin. As these people have been tormenting the people of Yukigakure. Naruto, her, and Karin had been sent here. After all, they did missions for any village they came across, or they work at any village. While Guren was gonna mix Zena, she enjoyed their time on the road, exploring and going to new places, and right now they were on a mission. To find the head of this cult, his name was Hidan. He was recruiting these psychopaths. They have attacked Yukigakure, which Hidan was from. He has slaughtered at least a small population of the village. Praying to his lord Joshin, the three of them were sent to kill him, and bring his head back, as showed proof of kill. The people at the village, especially the leader, was afraid, and angry as well because the man lost his daughter, and he wanted Hidan dead. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but the thing was Hidan had made his way off. Hidan didn't stay in one place for too long, but they were currently tracking him at the moment. She heard an explosion as she rushed over. She arrived to see Karin, as she was holding a blade in her hand. The 14-year-old Karin had flames on the blade. As she swiped it again, there was a spark before boom! The body of the man was blown away as he crashed into the wall. But despite his pain, he simply laughed as blood poured out of his stomach and his eyes and his nose. Their mind was so twisted they couldn't even sense reality from non-reality anymore. As he laughed, as he collapsed to the ground dead. Guren landed beside her. "Are you finished?" Karin asked. "Yes," Guren said. "Where's Naruto?" she asked. Karin looked around over there. Meanwhile, as Naruto was walking, there were countless bodies around him. These people sickened him. They enjoyed the meaningless slaughter of people. The things that they did to the woman of the village, saying that he was sacrificed. It angered Naruto to no end. The man in front of Naruto had the Ren Sharingan, but he didn't possess the eyes, merely the hypnosis. He is currently working for a businessman. "Who is this businessman?" said Naruto. "His name is Gato. He controls a rather powerful company, which he is currently using at the Land of Waves, subjugating the people. He allowed Hidan to kill as much people as he wants, and when he cannot find any, Gato send him more of the sacrifices to be sent to Joshin-sama. That's all I know. Why did he leave you guys here? We were supposed to gather more sacrifices until he returned. He doesn't really work completely for Gato. He just calls him every once in a while when there's something that he had to do for him. Something big. It seems that there is a problem at the Land of Waves." As Naruto eyes returned back to normal, he then reached forward and snapped the man's neck. He placed his hand on the ground and pumped chakra into it. Flames erupted all around him and burned the bodies to pieces, turning them into dust. As Naruto got up and walked over, as he saw the two girls. "You guys alright?" he asked. As Guren placed her hands on her hip. "Of course. Did you really think these pathetic guys could defeat me?" she said. Guren was a bit arrogant. Not to mention she saw herself as the most desirable, beautifulest woman in the world, which Karin did not see her as, and that caused him to curse many times. Why, of course not, said Naruto. But despite all of that, they were like family to him. Over the years, their bond had grown closer, as he would do whatever it takes to protect them. And also, it kept his mind off what he left behind, which pained him every time he thought about it. So what did you learn, Karen asks? Well, it turns out that Hidan is currently at Land of Wave. It seems there is some problem going on there, as Naruto places a hand to his chin. What's wrong? Gurren asks. Well, the Land of Wave is rather close to Konoha. Oh, so are we not going there? Seeing that it's so close to Konoha, Gurren said. I would rather myself not get recognized, said Naruto. If there's any wandering Konoha shinobi by there. But if we don't go, said Gurren, we can't hunt this Hidan down. And we won't get paid for bringing his head back. Yeah, you're right about that, said Naruto. And not to mention all the things that he's done. We can't allow someone like that to continue living. Yeah, you're right, said Karen. That man's a monster. It will be better for the world if he's gone completely. And we're gonna be the one to take him down, said Gurren. Hey, I know. You remember those masses that you gave us when we got close to Konoha? Oh yeah, said Naruto, as his rain Sharingan sprang to life. A rift in space and time opened in front of him, as Naruto had gotten quite good with the abilities of all of his eyes. As he pulled out 3 masses, a purple one for Gurren, a red one for Karen, and a black and white one for himself. Their eye holes were slitted, but they could see perfectly fine and breathe fine even though there was no mouthpiece on it. And the masses were designed with seals, so they just had to put on their face. It took some of their chakra, a small bit when they placed it on, but it would not fall off, unless they release it. Alright, said Naruto. It's a long journey from here to the Land of Waves, but this monster is planning on doing something big, so I want to get there before he does whatever he's planning on doing. Well then, let's not waste any more time, said Gurren. Meanwhile that was going on, Kakashi Hatake was confused. Something was wrong with this guy. He was not normal. The guy had a big twisted grin on his face. For one thing though, Kakashi could not let him touch him with that damn sight of his. Kakashi's Sharingan was already out. Things were going so good until this guy just appeared. He claimed that he was gonna sacrifice him to Lord Jashin. Kakashi stabbed. He hit him. But no matter what, the guy just would not go down. As Hidan burst out laughing. How much time do I have to tell you? I'm immortal, you fool! Kakashi didn't quite believe that. He didn't believe that anything could truly not die in this world. There must be a loophole. There must be something they could do. Well, he's gonna have to remove this guy's head. He was sure that would at least put him down. He rushed towards Hidan again as they clashed. The thing was not that Kakashi was not powerful, because he was. While Hidan possessed great strength and speed, he did not have the capability to bring Kakashi down. And frankly, he wasn't that smart after all. But the thing was, his body seemed unending. He didn't seem to get tired. Normal wounds would not bring him down, seeing that his body was littered with cuts. Kakashi stabbed his kunai right through Hidan's throat as Hidan gurgled. Kakashi then twisted the kunai to drive it down. He reached out and grabbed Hidan's left arm, so he could not cut him with a sight, but Hidan dropped his body weight on Kakashi. He then reached out one of his legs and pulled Kakashi back. Kakashi jumped away, but Hidan reached out with his teeth and bit Kakashi big finger as he pulled his hand away. He bit his big finger, allowing some of the blood to smear on his face. A bloodthirsty grin came on his face at that. You are rather worthy. Now, I will introduce you to Lord Jashin, he said, as he stabbed himself. This guy's crazy, said Tazuna. He really is, said Mito, as he smeared blood on the ground. Kakashi raised his eyebrows as he wondered what the hell he was doing. Hidan smirked as he licked the blood, his skin turning white and black. The blackness coming out like a skeleton over his body, forming rather perfectly. He chuckled. Now, to enjoy the savoring feeling of pain, he stabbed himself in the leg. Kakashi cried out and fell to the ground. Kakashi-sensei, said Mito, confused. They have the same wound, said Hinata. What do you mean, said Sasuke. He stabbed himself and Kakashi-sensei has the same wound. But how is that possible? I don't know. What the hell? Said Kakashi as he touched the blood. As Hidan chuckled and rammed the pike into his shoulder, Kakashi winced out in pain once again. How is this possible? He was getting hurt, but this psychopath doesn't seem like he feel or care about pain, so Kakashi was feeling it worse. Hidan laughed as his smile was infectious. It's amazing, isn't it? To be so close to meeting Lord Jushin, only for me to savor the moment even more, as he smiled in ecstasy. Now, how about I put you down even more? No, stop it, said Mito. Oh, kiddies, said Hidan. I'll be with you guys soon enough. As he held it in front of his heart. Wait, if he stabs himself there, does that mean... As Sasuke looked towards Hinata, Hinata had a frightened look on her face. Kakashi's mind was racking to come up with a plan to stop this guy. How was he doing that? His blood. He licked his... Kakashi looked towards his finger. As Mito noticed that, she remembered the guy biting his finger and then... that symbol. Please work, she said. As a chain came out of her hand, she shot it forward, stopping Hidan. What the hell, said Hidan, as he looked towards the chain. But he simply smirked as he started to push the pike deeper. Before, it was so close to his chest. Kakashi got up and sprinted towards Hidan at his shoulder, tackling him out of the ring. As Mito released the chain as he fell, Hidan pushed him off as he started to rush back towards the symbol. So, I'm right, he said to himself. He pulled a scroll and flashed two hands as a massive Fuma shuriken appeared. He then moved as he turned and whipped it forward. Hidan heard the sound as he turned, before he could reach a symbol on the ground. Slice! The Fuma shuriken tore through his throat, as his body collapsed on the ground. Dead. Kakashi panted his wounds, getting better of him. As he felt exhausted, fighting this guy for so long, and he wouldn't go down. Mito breathed a sigh of relief as she walked over. You okay, sensei? Yes. As Kakashi fell face first, she rushed over, but he was just unconscious. Hinata came over as she pulled out her medic kit. Sasuke walked over towards the head, Tazuna behind him. You little shit! Sasuke kicked the head straight in the water. He didn't mean to do it, but he was frightened. The head just started to talk. Hinata activated her Byakugan once again. He's still alive. She watched his head plummeting down. How is that possible, said Mito. I don't know, said Hinata, completely shocked, as she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Sasuke started to walk over towards the body as he kicked it, but he was not reacting. He saw Kakashi burn this guy and get back up, so he doubted that he could burn his body to make it just go away like that. But he had a better idea as he pulled the body over towards the lake and threw it in. As it started to sink, let's see you come back from that, he thought. We have to get Kakashi-sensei back to the house. Hinata, how's he coming along? I've patched up his wounds. He just needs to rest, Hinata said. Or let's go back to my house, said Tazuna. He can rest up there. As the group nodded as they move off. Some time later, 3 people arrive on the scene. As they came out of the water, with a cursing Hidan. His immortality allowed him to stay alive despite not gaining the oxygen. His body just would not die. Maybe if it was left underneath the water for a very long time. But he was rescued by his acolytes. His followers. They were not yet like him. They have not been deemed worthy by Jushin Sama, but at least they were worthy for something, bringing him back. Get me back to Gato, he said. I need to have someone reattach my head, and then I'm gonna hunt those bastards down and hack them to pieces. As Hidan was pissed off, his head, his whole body drenched. He was furious. Time skip. The girls were sleeping, as they had stopped as they need to rest. Naruto was fine, but their well-being came first. The closer he got to the mainland, the more he felt his memories resurfacing. Wonderful memories of Kushina, Mito, Uncle, Itachi, Izumi, everyone that he missed so much. It has been rather hard keeping that all in for the past couple of years. Since that day when he had cried, when he first left the village, he had not cried ever since. Naruto folded his legs as he closed his eyes. As he started to meditate, he had felt the other sensation of the other person that wanted to speak with him besides. But he never really got into tune with that. He felt like it was gonna change him more than he liked. So he always denied that feeling, but now, as Naruto continued to relax, he felt a calmness wash over him. When he reopened his eyes, he was no longer in the forest. He was somewhere unrecognizable. It was like a sewer, judging that he was sitting in water. He slowly got up to his feet. As he started to walk, calmly making his way. As he walked, he saw puddles on the ground that were different from the water that he was in. In those puddles he saw a battle. A tremendous battle that shook the very land. It was that woman that ever continued to try and take over his body and his mind. That woman that it was so hard to fight against. And he saw the other two. One of them possessing the Rinnegan eyes. A weaker version to what he possessed, the other one possessing the Tensegan, what he had as well. Ah, so finally you have come. Naruto paused, he glanced up as he saw him standing there. Have you spoken to my brother? As Naruto tilted his head, who are you? I guess that's a no. As the man walked, well, walk wouldn't be the proper word, he floated towards him. As Naruto noticed the orbs behind him, they were just like his. Who are you? Said Naruto. It is good that you can hear me and we can talk. My name is Hagoromo Osusuke, and I am the son of Kaguya Osusuke. I'm sure that you have met my mother on several occasions. As Naruto saw the woman down the water pool. So that's your mother, huh? Let me guess. You want my power as well? On the contrary, no. And I want to keep you protected away from my mother. Why? Said Naruto, with a suspicious gaze. As he didn't trust this man. Why would you want to help him? Because my mother seeks the total annihilation of humankind. She does not see humans as I, or you see humans. She sees them as lesser beings. Things that she guide over. I am sure that you can see that from her attitude. After all I've seen myself, she's rather possessive of you. Why is that? Said Naruto. Because she believes you belong to her. The chakra that created you. How you were formed in the first place is something that has never, ever been seen. I can tell that from my mother's reaction. When you awakened your power that day and you broke the seal, it allowed me to get in touch with her chakra. It is growing stronger by the day. But you can stop her. The power that you wield alone, you can fight her back. I made her bleed, said Naruto. Exactly. You can do something that I was never able to do. And what would that be? Said Naruto. Kill my mother. Why would you want me to kill her? Said Naruto. My mother is not a good woman. In the beginning, she was. But she became corrupted with the thought, believing that all chakra belongs to her. And you, my friend, you are made from that substance, with a little bit of twist. Over the years, I've never noticed a tree lying dormant. The tree? So you can tell me what I'm from? Yes, you're from a tree known as a Shinjo, or the God Tree if you might say. I, and my brother in the past, destroy most of the tree around the elemental nation. While my sons, I send them out to destroy the remains. But your tree lay dormant and I could not sense it. And over the years it gathered chakra through the entire elemental nation. As we speak now, I'm sure that you notice that you possess all ability. Doesn't matter if they have not found themselves yet. In the elemental nation you possess them all. Am I correct? Yes. I know that, said Naruto. Because you suck the literal life essence of the earth. But the vines could not penetrate nature chakra. But somehow, you did not cause chaos. The other trees all caused droughts, poisons, where they plant. But you remain in perfect harmony. Because you're special, Naruto. How do you know all of this? When you first came in here, I had a glimpse of your life. That woman, Kushina Uzumaki, she's a big part of the reason who you are right now. And for that I'm grateful to her. Because you seek happiness for mankind just as I do. If not for all of mankind, you wish not to destroy it. With the power of the Jubi running through you. That abomination, said Naruto, with the 10 tails. Yes, exactly. I'm sure that you've noticed that your body itself directly fight against nature. Yes, I've noticed that. Because the Jubi is made up of negative, corrosive energy. The power is an abomination to nature energy itself. I fought and defeated in the past and I separated the 9 pieces. And the 9 pieces are the 9 tail beasts. So that is the reason I felt such a strong pull around Mito. Because she has 9 tails. Exactly. So that means I can never go home again. I can never see her again, said Naruto, as he dropped to his knees. Once again the pain came back in his chest. It felt unbearable. Hagoromo came over as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. I think there's a... Both man was cut off as the heavens itself. The darkened heavens cracked open as a bright light shined in. You will not corrupt him. A massive hand descended upon where they were as Hagoromo pushed Naruto out of the way. The hand crushed down on Hagoromo as Naruto found himself back in the forest, gasping. What the hell was that? He glanced up towards the moon as he saw a flicker of Kaguya smiling at him. He closed back his eyes as he tried to enter that escape, but something was blocking him. He could not enter it. He smashed his fist in the ground, cracking it. That damn woman, always getting in his way. And the only person that could have told him everything she got in his way of seeing him. Wait, he has a brother. But how would he... Naruto frowned as he didn't know how to access that one. Damn it! Naruto watched as a small twinkle fell from the sky. It floated in front of his face as he heard her voice. Hello, Naruto-kun, she said. How are you doing this? You're trapped. Yes, but your little fight with that man that tried to take your power, it broke more of the seal and allowed me more freedom. Now I'm able to make contact with you. I see that my son is trying to corrupt your mind, switch you to his side, but I can't allow that to happen. You're mine. Have you forgotten that? I am not your possession, I'm not your tool, said Naruto. That is where you're wrong. You are a once-in-a-lifetime specimen that has never been seen before, even in the histories of Otsutsuki's. That is why I've laid claim on you. And once I'm back, I will take back what is rightfully mine, and you will stand at my side as my husband. Naruto froze. You're what? Yes. As I said, you're a fine specimen and you will belong to me. You will eternally remain at my side. Can't you see that you're nothing like these other humans? You and I are beings that they can't even comprehend. The more you grow, the more your power grows. And soon enough you reach your pinnacle of power. When the transformation happened. What transformation? She giggled a bit. It sounded quite cute, but Naruto hated this woman, so it sounded dark and decrepit to him. I'm not gonna tell you that just yet, but no. When the time comes, you will be more powerful than you can even imagine. And I will be free. And we will lay together as husband and wife. Forever be bonded throughout the history. And crush the rest of my pathetic clan, she said. I will be waiting, Naruto-kun. As a white sparkle bursts right in front of his face. Naruto gripped his face as he released a long, hard sigh. This was becoming worse than he thought. And what transformation was she talking about? He literally had no idea. As the time went on, he had no idea what to do. As it felt like soon enough he would have to give in. As much as he tried to fight it, the closer he got to her, the sensation that he didn't want to feel washed over him. It was like it was commanding him to bow to her whims, like his very essence belonged to her. But he refused. He was not some puppet. He was Naruto Uzumaki, and he did not belong to anyone, especially not her. He was his own person, and he would never bow to her whims. He glanced up as he saw her smiling down towards him. Meanwhile that was going on, Zetsu was shaking in shock. He was on his knees. Mother, he said. Ah, Zetsu. So you can finally see me, can you? Zetsu couldn't believe it, as he saw his mother just looking at him. Mother, how are you here? He said, as he couldn't understand. That will all be explained soon. I've been watching you. But mother, the seal, it is being weakened at the moment. Just listen to me, okay? Yes, he said. Do not interfere with Naruto. What? I know that you're looking for him. Do not. If you find him, this time you won't be able to escape. He will annihilate you. Keep on doing what you're doing. To revive me, to break this seal. It will come in handy for when he's ready. When he's ready, said Zetsu confused. You will know everything once I'm free. Just continue to do what you're doing. And hurry it up. I need to be free from this prison. Yes, mother. I will do my best. I will not stop until you're free. Yes. That's a good boy, she said. As her body then vanished, leaving Zetsu with their shock. His mother was acting different. Even though he was the essence of her, still, he was her son. But still, he knew her from him being her essence. Her whole attitude, her demeanor seemed to have changed a bit. Why? She seemed excited about something. And she didn't want him to go after Naruto. Well, he will just have to tell Obito that he had no idea where Naruto was. But it seems that mother had something planned for him. But Zetsu didn't know what it was. For now, he would just try to keep the plan up, so they could hurry up and revive his mother. After all, he was in the shadows playing everyone, and no one knew that. Meanwhile, that was going on, a far distance away from the elemental nation. The place was empty. It wasn't space. It was a different dimension. A strange emptiness. Yet there was this power. There was no body. No physical attributes, just power. The power seemed to hum in surprise as it circled around the area. Despite having no physical body, the feeling was tense, shock, like the power sent something off. The strange power kept on floating in, this strange, empty void as it sent something that shouldn't be possible. This power was rather unique. It seemed like it once belonged to someone. If it did, well, the situation for it to end up here and having a mind was truly magnificent, given that it had no physical body. As the power went dormant. But it was indeed looking forward to see what this new awakening brings. Back in the elemental nation, at the land of Wave, they had got to the house. Kakashi had been put on bed rest. For the past 3 days, his wounds are healing nicely, but he was still not ready to fight. as he was on crutches. He could walk, but it was rather painful with the stab in his leg. But Hinata healing cream. It was rather a work of art. They had met the family. Mito had a long talk with Inari. As the boy, well, he had went through a lot, but Mito had as well. At the moment though, as she stood in the field, as she was closing her eyes and meditating, as she felt her chakra coursing through her. Because of her large chakra reserve, she had to keep a steady control over her chakra so she didn't waste that much, while it didn't affect her that much. She wanted to make sure her attacks were precise and potent. She had to have a lot of control. And because of the fox inside of her, well, that was a deal breaker there as well. So she had to train harder than most to control her chakra. She opened her eyes as she saw Sahara-chan. She had brought her little fox along. She had not really revealed it to anyone except for Sasuke and Hinata. The both of them. They liked the fox, but they couldn't hear it either, she thought. Only kids could hear, but no one else could hear Sahara. As she still didn't understand why, she scratched under the fox's chin. Do you have any idea why people can't hear you? And why only I can do? Not really. Maybe you're just special. Or maybe it's because of the fox seed inside your stomach. Maybe you're in tune to fox. You know, I never thought of that. But I haven't really spoken to the fox inside of me. It doesn't seem to like me. My mom told me that she never really spoke to him either. And that our chakra keep him sedated. But he can't speak to me. But she never really told me how to access his chakra. And I'm afraid. Well, if you don't think that you're ready, then don't try it, says Sahara. You know, my mom and a lot of people have been there for me. But somehow being around you just keep me calm, and I don't know why. It seems like you're a blessing from the heavens itself. You're making me blush, said Sahara. As she jumped up and licked Mito's face, as Mito chuckled a bit. Time skip. The few days went by rather easily. There was no attacks. Because they thought that Hidan was dead, so they never really think that anything was gonna happen. They continued to guard the bridge builder. Everything went fine as Kakashi's wounds were healed up within a week. The medical cream, and not to mention his own slice of medical jutsu, was enough to bring him over. As he was back on his feet, the three kids were already unique in their own way, so Kakashi put in extra training for them. They already know the water walking and tree walking exercise, so he started to teach them on elemental manipulation. As that was coming along quite well, Hinata was getting rather adapted to hers rather quickly. The Hyugas never extended their reservoir of learning. They only stuck with the gentle fist style because they believed that it was untouchable, undefeated. But Hinata was mastering the water element rather quickly, while Sasuke was working on his fire and lightning. Mito had wind and water, as she also had a dab of lightning as well, probably from her father Minato. At the moment though, Mito was left behind to guard the house. As she found herself in a rather sticky situation, two bandits tried to kidnap Inari and Tsunami, but they stood no chance and she took them down. She created a few clones and left them behind. And she also left Sahara behind as well, just in case. Sahara protested against this, so Mito begged her to stay behind, just in case her clones did not cut it. As the fox was rather powerful, not even Sahara knew where she get her power from. As she told Mito she didn't know. She was just born that way. As Mito thought that she was lucky to have her. So with that, she rushed towards the bridge. When she got there though, it was chaos. As Hinata thrust her palm out, knocking the acolyte away. They were surrounded. There were a lot of them. Hidan was clashing against Kakashi rather furiously. Attacks after attacks. As Kakashi blocked, but he was worried about the kids. Hidan had brought a lot of men with him, his acolytes, who they were not given an order to kill the kids, but to bring them all to him. As they start to attack rather vigorously, Mito appears. She flashed Johansa in wind style, gale palm as she blew the acolyte away from Hinata. Hinata turned and lashed out her palm. Empty palm, she said, as she released a burst of shock from her palm and slammed the acolyte behind Mito right in the face as he fell down. Sasuke appeared as he launched 3 kunais as it pierced right through the man that stood behind Hinata. There were just so much of them. Sasuke, said Mito as he nodded. The both of them flashed through hands to another. Collaboration jutsu that burned one of them to death. That right there was their literal first kill. They had not killed anyone yet. But there was no time to worry about that. Hinata launched a kunai as she pierced one of them in the side, forcing him to step back a bit as Sasuke moved, and launched his kunai towards the man's chest. As he collapsed on the ground, she struck a man in the feet as he dropped to his knee. She then hit him right in the chest as he collapsed, unable to move. There were so much of them, said Hinata. They're trying to get past us. Don't let them get past, said Mito, as they were all trying to get past and towards where Tazuna was. The three kids started to fight with everything they had. The acolytes weren't that powerful, but they just did not care about their life, so it was rather hard to defeat them. They swarm and used their bodies as meat shield for the others. One of them pulled a kunai that he found on the ground that Sasuke threw, as he smirked and stabbed through his own friend's hand. It stabbed Mito right in the shoulder as he staggered back. He then pushed his friend that bumped right into Mito, causing her to fall back. Sasuke rushed forward, but he was tackled by three of them as Sasuke kicked, slamming his foot into chest, knocking him away. Hinata tried to get to Mito, but she could not, as Mito was pushed back. The other one threw the kunai that he had in his arm and pierced Mito's leg as he cried out in pain. Despite the fighting, Kakashi heard her crying out in pain. He slammed his heel into Hidan's face before he jumped and grabbed the man by the throat and snapped his neck. He then shot forward to save Mito, but the acolytes all jumped in as Hidan cursed where he was. His neck started to crack back into place as Mito used her chain, as she couldn't control it all that well, nor could she produce as much as her mother. The chain burst through the acolyte's stomach, but he dropped his body weight on her as the blood splashed in her face. He then bit her right on the shoulder as Mito cried out. Her cries could be heard. The small fox Sahara, her eyes glow a chaotic purple color as she got angry. She then rushed off with immense speed. It was at that point Iniri came out as he rushed off to gather the villagers. But the small fox moved. The thing was tearing through the forest. Trees were bending and being destroyed at a strange purple power that was now leaking from it. As the thing was shooting forward, hearing Mito, despite being so far away from her, as it quickly moved as fast as possible. It arrived on the bridge within a minute. As it saw Mito being covered, Sasuke managed to slam his heel right in the head of the acolyte. As he got to Mito, she managed to push the man off her as her neck was bleeding where the bite was. The other three tried to rush in to swarm them, but the fox came in as it jumped in front of Mito and opened its mouth and released a roar. A thunderous blast blew away several of the acolytes. Kakashi had to jump to the side as bodies were sent sailing. The white tail of the fox extended to large degrees and crushed three of the bodies. Sahara-chan said Mito in shock as she couldn't believe what she was seeing. The fox didn't come to a stop when it sensed something. Kakashi was in shock to what was going on as Hidan saw the perfect moment as he rushed forward with his sight, only for it to be stopped by a crystal that pierced right through his leg, forcing the man to grunt in pain as the crystal pierced directly into the bridge. He cursed. What the hell is this? He turned his head as everyone turned to see three people standing there. As Mito looked up, what this feeling? Why did it feel so? As the fox focused on the one in the center, his black and white mask scanning the bridge. He faltered for a quick second. Damn it, he said. And who the hell are you people? Said Hidan with an angry snarl. The one with the black and white mask looked at Mito. She could tell that he was looking at her. More important, the wound on her shoulder, the blood. It was then that clouds started to gather above them, the sky becoming dark, lightning crackling in the heavens. Gurin and Karen under their masks felt it. He was angry. They both focused on the girl. Wait, is that? Hidan pulled out the crystal. I don't know who the hell you are, but you people As the person stepped forward, Hidan smirked. So you wanna die, huh? As the person just kept on walking up towards him without saying a word. Kakashi narrowed his gaze. Who the hell are these guys? Especially the one with the black and white masks. The acolytes all turned their gaze towards their master. As Hidan raised his hand, "This one is mine," he said. As he spoke, his voice was distorted. It was dark. His cold eyes settled on Hidan. "I'll kill you all," he said. Hidan burst out laughing. "I cannot die, you fool!" "Well, you're gonna wish you were able to," as he raised his hand towards Hidan's face. But guys, we end right here. If you want to see the next parts and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification to stay posted, and yeah, I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.